Welcome back to Coach's Corner East. We're at the Pizza Hut in Gallion on the 26th of January, last Wednesday of January. And thank goodness we'll get out of this freezer here hopefully very, very soon on this cold evening. Show's brought to you in part by Steve and Chuck Keller at Keller Auto Parts, your Napa dealer, Uptown Gallion and Crestline. Marie Mounts at the Platinum Insurance Agency, your Progressive agent, 131 Harding Way East, Uptown Gallion. And Joe Kleiman Associates at the Gallion office of First Federal Bank of Ohio, as well as the Burkhart family at the Burkhart Farm Center, your Case IH dealer straight west of Gallion on the Manette, New Winchester Road. Mike Kleinite at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, and Marion. And Sweet Baby Ray Jones, Davey's little brother, at Ohio Door and Sash, 120 South Street in Gallion. Tyler Sanders and the Crestline Bulldog boys basketball team joining us tonight. And Coach Sanders, after last night's win on the road, right, down at Mount Gilead, 9-6 overall, 4-3 in the mid-Buckeye. And you added one more little stat in there, because what I had written down is winners of three straight, 5 of the last 7, and
8 out of the last 11.
8 out of the last 11 for the Bulldogs. So that's not quite an 80% winning percentage in the last 11. That's pretty doggone good. Averaging almost 50 points a game, 49.7, giving up 47.5. And I want to go back a little ways to the last time you played Lucas down there. Tough place to play. We had previewed that a few weeks ago. Almost had him, and it got kind of slipped away at the end. You lose 52-46. Lucas led by 12 going into the fourth quarter, but Crestline got back within a bucket with 2 minutes to go. What were you and your staff thinking at that moment right there and telling your kids? You're down by 2. You got an opportunity to knock off the league leader in their home court.
Yeah, and it was just, we started off that game down 20-4, and we clawed back into it, and we actually had a great look. I mean, we had I think it was Trevor, wide open left-handed layup, and we just missed it. And yeah, I mean, we have proven that we can compete with anybody on any given night, and so our boys know, like, when we get into those tight games, like the conversation I have with them and the conversation we had last night in the locker room is like, we have got to either find a way in the games that we should win to pull away big, or the games that maybe we shouldn't win, but we feel like we can compete with these teams. We've got to find a way to win. And so we're still looking for like that. We beat everybody we should beat, and we're looking for that game, that signature win to kind of really cap off what this group has been all about. So yeah, those games are just like, hey boys, like this is your time to get that signature win, and we just haven't quite done it yet. And
yeah.
we're close.
Those are gut punchers. You had made comment to the Telegraph Forum the whole night. Every time we made runs, they hit a big shot. They always had an answer, it seemed like. And you dealt with a little bit of foul trouble. Josh Hall, Lucas Cochran, R.J. Johnston all in foul trouble. But you overcame that. I mean, to be down that much early on the road at a tough place to play and still have a look with 2 minutes to go, that's pretty huge. Lucas Cochran, who's here with us tonight, led all scorers, 17 points, 9 rebounds. R.J. Johnston, 14 points. Josh Hall, 7 points. Connor Lusk with 4, and Isaiah Perry with 4. These kids just keep producing, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And, we're starting to kind of get to this, and maybe not so much, but after that weekend, I felt like we're starting. Well, I guess it was starting that weekend. We started seeing that ball going a little bit from the outside until last night. But anyways, we'll get to that. But we've been starting to see the ball go in from the 3-point line from different guys. Like Brandon's starting to hit some shots. Trevor's hitting some threes. Isaiah, Josh, Connor. Everybody's starting to finally get rolling here, and it gives me a lot of hope. Because I think our conversation the last time is if we start hitting shots, we're going to be really good.
That's right.
And so we're kind of getting to that place where we're finally starting to see that ball drop. So even though we haven't shot the ball still the way I think we're capable from 3-point line, I think in the last 4 games, if I saw right, we've shot over 60% from 2 in all 4 of those games.
Good.
So we're seeing the ball go in, and we're close. We're real close.
The next night, you host Elgin at home and fell to them 54-38. It's an Elgin team that's relied on its defense all year, and the shooting woes continued. Just made 9 of 35 shots through 3 quarters and only shot 33% the entire game. Again, Lucas Cochran with some foul trouble and missed most of the game. R.J. Johnston led all scorers 25 points, and the remainder of the Bulldogs just 13. Just a cold night, or was it something? Do you believe, was it just carryover from the night before, being so close after clawing your way back, maybe not having legs, and just kind of the psyche being down a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple things. Being down 20-4 the night before, and to crawl back and get that close and just come up short, you you've exhausted a lot of energy. So I do think it had something to do with that. I think it was also a really tough mismatch because they had a really nice big, and then with Lucas being in foul trouble, it was just not a great matchup for us. And then also, like, Elgin's just, I mean, I think they're 11-3 right now, 12-3, and they're a really well-coached team. I have a lot of respect for Bill and his program. They've just done a really good job, and they've continued to win since. I think I think they've won 7 or 8 in a row. So they're clicking, and it was just, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like it all came together and things just weren't. So we were able to shake it off, though, and kind of pick up that next game. I think, like you said, that fourth quarter, we finally started hitting shots. A couple guys didn't. We just said, as long as that carries over into the next game, we can live with that.
And you score a bunch of points in the next game. Last Tuesday, you go to Seneca East and score 73 points, beat them 73-68 against probably the highest scorer in the whole Northwest Ohio, or at least in this North Central Ohio area, and Isaac Mason. I didn't see any stats on that. What did you hold him to?
Yeah, so it was kind of an interesting. He had 3 points with 45 seconds left in the first half.
Oh, wow.
And so game plan was fantastic. We sent him to the free throw line 6 times in the final 45 seconds. So he scored had 9 at half, and he made 15 free throws. So we made it difficult. He ended up with 29.
Okay.
But we were up 25 at halftime and held on and won by 5. So it was a little frustrating, but the first half we shot the ball beautifully, the best we've shot all year. I think we were 6 for 8 from 3. Things were really starting to click, and then the second half, they did a good job through a couple adjustments in there, and it just took us a while. Took us that third quarter to figure it out, and then we put 20 points up in the fourth and held on. So, but yeah, no, we did a really good job on the Mason. It was a really good team effort.
Good. And then last Friday, you come home to take on Mansfield St. Pete, a team that you beat handily at their place at the Franciscan Center, and you did it again, this time 65-28. And oddly enough, once dominant Spartan team just dressed 6 players for the game. And you had mentioned to the Telegraph Forum, we knew coming in they'd be shorthanded, so we really had to push the ball and get easy layups. You led by 14 after the first, 19 at half, and you made a comment about Trevor Shade and his shooting earlier, and you did to the newspaper as well. He has hit at least one in the last 3 or 4 games, so he's turning the corner. That's really good to see. Talk about how proud you are of him, of finally finding his way a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he still hasn't hit it yet, but he's at least shooting the ball now. And he was, I think, a little afraid to shoot. Same with Brandon here. Brandon, I think, has had 3 or 4 threes in the last 3 games.
Good.
So getting that production from our bench guys and them filling it up from outside is huge for our team. It opens up the game for Lucas, opens up the game for RJ. It takes a little bit of that pressure off of those 2 guys and just allows everybody to play a little more freely. So yeah, I mean, we played well that night. Still didn't shoot the ball like the way that we're capable, but the ball is going in more than it was. So. We're trending in the right direction.
Lucas Cochran, 14 points, 12 rebounds for a double-double. Well done, young man. Connor Lusk, 14 points. That's a nice breakout game for him.
He had double-double too.
Yeah, oh, did he as well?
Yeah.
RJ Johnston, 9 and 11. Josh Hall, Isaiah Perry with 8. Brandon Hiles with 6. Jake Bruce with 3, and Trevor Shade with 3 points as well. And then last night, you go on the road to Mount Gilead, a game that you snuck out of there with a win. It's always great to get a non-league win on the road, 58-55, and talk a little bit about that because I haven't seen any statistics or anything on that.
Yeah, no, last night was a terrible outside shooting performance. We were 1 for 12 or 13 from 3. We shot like 8% from 3. But we scored 46 points in the paint. Lucas hit 3 free throws late to kind of ice them, but as another game where, like, at the end of the first half, we're up 8, and they go on a 6-0 run to end the quarter, and then we're up 9 in the fourth quarter with 2.5, 3 minutes left, and they get it back to a tie ball game with, 20 seconds left. And credit to the guys. I think last year we lost 9 of 11 games leading going in the fourth quarter. And so this year, even though they made it close last night, we are finding ways to win in the fourth quarter.
That's good. And that's maturity.
It is. It's maturity and seeing these guys grow up and finding, we're struggling shooting the ball outside, but we're finding ways to put the ball in the hoop. So
yeah, very good. Take a break before we talk to the young men around the table. The show is brought to you in part by Lee Plimo and Brad Seibert at the Plimo Insurance Group, Gallion and Bucyrus, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center, North Walnut Street, across from the courthouse in Bucyrus. Phil and Sue Schreck at Phil's Deli, just east of the Pizza Hut. at the bridge here in Gallion, as well as Steve Kurtzman and Associates at Innovative Recycling, 352 South Street in Gallion, Candy Bolin at Bolin Realty, 2 blocks west of the Uptown Gallion Square, and John Cross at Cross Carpet and Custom Floors, 302 North Seltzer Street in downtown Crestline. First up is Brandon Hiles, and both seniors tonight. Brandon, it's good to see you, and it's good to see you contributing. I bet that feels good to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does really feel good.
You're starting to find the hoop now a little bit. You had 6 there against, who was it, St. Pete's, and
Yeah.
how many did you have last night, do you remember?
I had 0.
But, okay.
I shot the ball a couple times. It felt so nice, but it just didn't drop.
Yeah, well, and that'll come. Because you didn't play a lot early in the season, that you were going through some things, and now you're back out there. And how good does that feel to be part of this and coming off the bench, but still being able to be an integral part? Coach talks about you're taking attention away from this guy next to you and RJ as well. That's got to make you feel good.
Yeah, it does make me feel good.
You're such an athletic young man. I mean, you proved it on the football field. You're able to use that strength and that athleticism, I'm sure, on the defensive end. Has that been the stronger part of your game at this point?
Oh, yeah, defense is definitely my strongest part.
So coach is telling you got to get in there and shut this guy down or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about the importance, of the fact that coach is saying in the past, these are the games that, like last night, that you would have lost in the past. How important is it with this group of seniors that you're playing with to say, guys, we've done this before, we can get through this now?
It's just those games we need to win. We want a good draw to go into the
tournament, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's all right.
We want a good draw and have a really good chance of winning a sectional.
Yeah, and you feel good about that?
Yeah, I do.
I do too. I mean, it seems like you're starting to reach your stride. Maybe not peaked yet. We won't use that term, but you're getting there. And those are the teams that are really, really dangerous. May not be the highest seed in the sectional, but and the other thing is, you think about what you guys have done in the tournament the last couple of years. Now, albeit some buzzer beaters and things like that, but it seems like when you get in the tournament, a lot of good things have been happening. Not that you're trying to kind of make the rest of the season go quick, but are you excited about what the tournament can hold?
Oh, yeah, I'm super excited for it. I feel like we could cut some nets this year.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be fantastic. Continued success. Appreciate you coming out tonight, and just keep getting after it, okay?
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Next senior, Lucas Cochran, is a scoring and rebounding machine, but you've had a lot of fouls lately. And when Coach was talking about that, and I kept reading it when I did my homework, I have to ask him this question. I know you're going to think of it one way. Are they really legit? Or
I mean, like,
Yes.
with an extent, some of them are. But like, I try to put out a lot of effort on the defensive end, like,
Yep.
and that's what really gets me a lot of my fouls. So like, I kind of like backed off the defensive a little bit, but like, I just don't like hound them as much, So it's kind of like I'm trying to be up in your grill, but like I can't do it anymore because once I get in foul trouble, it's kind of like iffy,
Well, it's because you're lending a lot to the offensive end as well, and it's certainly a valuable asset to have you on the floor. Are any of those just frustration? Like maybe you'll get a quick one and then you'll get a frustration foul real quick, or not necessarily so much?
Not really, no.
Okay. So offensively, you're doing a lot of good things. You've been scoring a lot of points. Health-wise, how you feel in pretty good shape right now? You got enough gas in the tank to finish strong here?
We're ready.
You're-
I'm ready. I'm ready. Like the senior year, this is about it. Like we got, I think 6-7 more games.
Yeah.
Like we gotta go out with a bang. I want to cut down some nets this year because it's our banners not too good. So
Yeah.
I want to put a number up on the banner.
Yeah, that'd be something special for your senior year. There's no question about it. Well, I appreciate you coming out. Stay healthy. Watch the fouls. Be aggressive, but watch your fouls.
Hey! I only had 2 last night.
Okay.
I had one foul going into the third or fourth quarter. Because then I like.
Did you want me to pat you on the back?
Well, we can discuss that after the fact. Well, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Show's brought to you in part by Terry Gribble and Associates at your Gallion Community Center YMCA, Dr. Erica Schieber at Bucyrus Veterinary Service, 222 West Mary Street, Bucyrus, Rod Steiger and Associates here at the Pizza Hut in Gallion and Bucyrus, our host of the show since 1992. And Luann Krebs at River's Edge Embroidery and Screen Printing, sponsor of our phone board t-shirts, as well as Don Barr and Associates at Galleon Building and Lone Bank, Matt Studer at Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Kia, 1 mile east of the Richland Mall, Mark Osborne and Associates at E-Crane International, serving worldwide markets from the Galleon Industrial Park. And Coach, when I was looking at your schedule, beginning last night, it's a stretch of 6 games in 14 days. So maybe not quite NBA-ish, but getting close to that. Do you like it that way? I mean, let's face it, in practice, there's so much you can do at this point. You've done it throughout the season. The kids know what the expectations are. Other than game planning for a certain team, you can revisit the fundamentals and all that. Do you like playing more games in practice? Because I'm sure that they would say, yeah, we do too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely like getting out and playing. Maybe a little much in that span of time. Just, I mean, I don't want us to have worn legs going on in the last couple of those games. I mean, maybe it'll be good for us and it'll give us a chance to find a way to win, and sometimes that's good for you. But, we're looking to get as many wins as we can, and I think that we're capable of winning what's left if we play the way that we're capable, and that would be something that hasn't been done since 1954. So we have that ability, and we have kids that are willing to do put in the time, put in the work. But yeah, the 6 games in 14 days makes me a little nervous with our depth. But if any kids can do it, I think these guys can.
Good. JV team, are they still progressing, still kind of moving in the right direction? Is it still a work in progress right now?
It's a work in progress. Today we had a lot of kids out. They were student council, Blue Jackets game tonight, and so it gave us a good opportunity to work with a lot of our JV kids.
Good.
The biggest thing is, handling pressure and just they're a little intimidated handling pressure. Once they grasp that, though, I think they're going to put these 5 are really good freshmen. They're going to put in the time this summer, and they're going to be a lot better coming into next year. So I'm really confident in them.
Good. Junior high, they got to be coming up on tournament time?
Yeah, we're getting real close, probably a week or 2 away. Maybe a week. Yeah, we're real close. They're doing fine. We had a couple games canceled because of the weather and stuff, but we honestly haven't played much since I talked to you last.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we're close, and I'm excited about the tournament for them. I think they both can compete.
Good. Coming up Friday night, you go on the road, a very familiar place to you, back to the Furnace at Mansfield Christian. You won 41-40 at home on the 17th of December, and it's your next to last road game, but it's important because that's where you played.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I graduated from there. It was a fun place, but I would say Crestline's my home, so I really enjoy it here, and it's special going back, but it's always more special when we beat them.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're looking to bring home the W Friday night.
And then next Monday night, you're going to be home to Bucyrus, a team that's, even though their record may not show, it's a gritty team.
Yeah.
Some nice seniors on that team. That should be a really competitive game for sure. And then no rest for the weary. You have Northmore coming in and Blade Tackett, former Colonel Crawford graduate, coming to your place, and then finish the week out Friday with Central Christian, a team that you really want to get back because you lost to them in their barn earlier in the year. So you go Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's a lot.
It's a lot of basketball. And those, Coach Egan's doing a great job, and those boys are getting a lot better. But then, getting through that game and then having to face Northmore, who's on the up and up, and then getting through that and having to play Central Christian, who smacked us the first time, is going to be challenging.
And these, you want to win conference games, Mansfield Christian and Central Christian, but Bucyrus and Northmore, those are bracket builders, so to speak, right before your tournament draw, which will be the Sunday after the Central Christian game.
Yeah.
Those can really solidify a really solid seed, can't they?
Yeah, and we've talked about, we've played a lot of D3 teams. We've got a lot of D3 teams coming up. So when you go in the draw, you put your record in against each division. And so we want to have a really good record against D3s. It looks good so far, but we got some tough ones coming up.
Not to get too far ahead, but who do you see? St. Paul's not had the year that they're used to having. So who's really that strength in that sectional, do you think?
1 through 4 is probably a lock between Margaretta, Lucas, South Central, Monroeville. None of those teams have more than 3 losses, I believe. But we should be, as long as the season plays out the way I think it should, we should be a solid 5 seed and have the opportunity to kind of choose where we want to go. We're going to have to face one of those 4. in a final if we win our semifinal game, but we'll have the opportunity to choose one of those teams.
Yeah, you can kind of pick and choose.
Yeah.
And
Who we're going to choose has not revealed yet. But
yeah, well,
still a little bit of season left.
all right. Well, we'll be talking that on upcoming shows as the season starts to close. Thanks so much for coming out tonight, guys. Continued success. Enjoy the rest of the year, and we'll look forward to those net cutting times. Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, very good. Hey, coming up tomorrow, we have Ohio State men's basketball on the road. They'll be in Minneapolis to take on the Golden Gophers. Coverage beginning at 7:15. That's on WQEL. Friday night, we have a doubleheader. It'll be girls basketball, Cary at Bucyrus on WQEL, and on WBCO, it'll be Colonel Crawford at Winford, and coverage beginning at 7:30 on both those games, time approximate. And then I'll have the Friday night phone board beginning right around 9 o'clock. Amy Taylor Sheldon and the Winford Lady Royals will be in the studio Friday evening. Saturday, we have a girls game during the afternoon. It'll be Ridgedale at Northmore on WQEL. Tip time at approximately noon. And then that evening, it'll be boys basketball. Winford makes the short trip to Bucyrus, and that coverage will begin right around 6:30. Will Beard in the studio for Saturday night phone board. And then Sunday the 30th, Ohio State men's basketball. They'll be in West Lafayette, Indiana to take on the Purdue Boilermakers. Coverage beginning at 11:15. Special thanks to everyone here at the Pizza Hut. Our managers, Bree, Michelle, and Jordan. Thank you to Ian, who took care of us tonight as server. And I want to thank Cameron Moon and Harper Boggs for being here to help us through the show. Thank you to Galleon boys basketball coach Ryan Stover and Crestline boys basketball coach Kyler Sanders and his team for being here. And thank you to our sponsors, and most of all you, all of the people tuning in on Facebook Live. For WQEL Sports, this has been Mike Sparks reminding you, a spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission. Have a good night, everybody.